That's the motto. Throw back with no chaser, with no trouble. Popping that moe, baby, let's make some bubbles. Know that gelato. Wanna be seeing double. Gotta do what you gotta believe. Got no plans to leave it. Tell all of your friends to be here.
Big old cock and balls.
Oh wow, what a start to the stream that is. I come in as a DM and the first thing that gets said on the live recording is cock and balls. Great start this is. And as you can tell, this is what we're dealing with. Okay, so welcome back everyone to the 5th episode, which is called Shark Fin of our D&D campaign. Naturally, I'm going to go over now exactly what happened in the last episode, and after I've gone over exactly what's happened in the last episode, I'll explain your situation to you now. So Bellimac, get off your phone, I need to explain what you missed.
I was loading up my character profile.
Okay, fair enough. So what happened when you were on the ship, Waveseeker? You came into contact with Moonbeam, a Clovis Concord ship, after defeating Voskia Laugh, which you completed in a previous episode to that. You began to engage the crewmates that were under attack down on the lower decks. As you went into the fight, many an injury happened. So Achilles did take a strike to the face. Brant, after absolutely dismantling someone with his warhammer, was unfortunately brought down. Ariana split an owl in half with an arrow and then missed every other arrow. Our Captain Sylvester Shadows was unfortunately very badly wounded in the fighting. Zavros was naturally firing his normal spells. Which unfortunately I forgot, though he always says it.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. He's firing Eldritch Blast at them. Xenozila, or Solazina, was unfortunately injured as well in the fight. During the fighting, Bellimac, fabled Harry, who wasn't with us at the time, jumped across onto the opposing ship and absolutely swang for it and started trying to fight them on his own. During the fight, after defeating the enemies and after the pure betrayal of one of the characters on the ship, which unfortunately the traitor was killed by Captain Three Earrings, Bellimac did come back over as a gigantic shark, destroyed the moonbeam, and Sehorsin absolutely flooded the decks of the ship, slaughtering all that was left of the crew. You managed to free yourselves, and Heidal, then one of the crewmates and the first mate of the ship and one of the remaining crew members, sailed you off into the night. So this brings us up to date with our episode. 2 hours have passed from there. The shark is long past in the distance. It can no longer be seen. You don't know if you're still being pursued. Captain Three Earrings is currently in absolutely stunned silence. As a crew and as a party, you've got wounds, you're injured, you've got information to potentially share, and you want to find out now what is your objective. Your original objective still stands of going to the ruins of Parmaflora and sinking beneath the waves to fight the Sehorsen priestess. But the real question is, how do you go about doing that now? So, talk to me, characters. How are you feeling? So you're on the ship at the moment. It's creaking. The wind is billowing. It's a gloomy night. There's this horrible mist that's descended from Brant's previous spell that's still lingering in the air, and this horrible spiting rain that's stinging your face as it comes in onto the deck. And there's a real gloomy atmosphere with blood running off the deck from the previous fight.
Okay, well, I want to get supplies because I've realised, obviously, that realistically, we're a bit ill-equipped. I think from the last battle, I realised that I need to just stock up on some supplies and stuff because I know that we've only got water-breathing potions at the moment. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I want to do a perception check, see if we're getting further away from that shark or if it's catching up with us or what.
Yeah, if you roll for perception for me, please. Okay, and let's have a look at the game
21.
log. 21. Okay. So the shark itself, you can tell, it may still be in pursuit, but it's far out in the distance, and the pursuit is trailing off because, as I said, it doesn't have the ability to catch up to the ship. The ship is faster than it. That being said, you can tell by the nervousness of Captain Three Earrings that the current predicament that you're in, as well as the rest of the crew and the way that they're sort of shifty and the way that they're acting, that there's definitely the concern that you're not out of danger yet. There's not a relaxed atmosphere amongst what's left of the crew.
So are there? So, I'm curious if there's any supplies or anything on the ship that we can utilize in the meantime.
Okay. So do you want to search the ship? Do you want to talk to the crew? What are you going to do, Rogar?
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind trying to find out if there's any supplies like loitering around or anything that we can utilize to try and sort of stock ourselves up. Because so if are there any members, are there any crewmates or something we can go up and speak to, or were the captains still about?
Yeah. So there's 3 crewmates that are still surviving from the original crew. The first one being Heidal. Heidal is the first mate of the ship, and they were piloting the ship when Voskia Laugh jumped over. Now, they seem to be the calmest one on the crew at the moment. They're very stoic in nature, eyes front, still steering the ship in a sort of direction westerly at the moment, going with the wind. Captain Three Earrings is about. You can tell looking at her perplexion that she's trying to show calm, but there's an underlying fear factor there that something's gone wrong that she hasn't anticipated happening, and it's shaking her. And the final member of the crew, who is the last one sort of left,
Yeah.
okay, is Dial You. Now, Dial You is sort of the last one left on the crew, and there's a feeling of hatred almost coming off him. He's stamping around the decks, he's going about his tasks, but there's almost like a fury in him at the moment.
So I'm happy to go up and have a conversation with Three Earrings and find out, obviously, because we know that, was her anticipation about the traitor? So was she surprised by that person? And
Before you do that, Achilles kind of stops you and tries to gather people together so that
Right.
we can have a good conversation around it. Because as far as Achilles was thinking at the same moment in time, there's 3 of them and 7 of us or 8 of us, and that we can just take this ship and wants to discuss it amongst his party.
All right, cool. Fair dues.
Okay.
So Achilles kind of turns to the group and would say, like, we need to understand what's going on this ship. We got taken to an army outpost. We were told to keep quiet. We don't know why we were told to keep quiet. We've come back onto the boat, and the Clovis Concord has caught up with us, which we knew was happening. They were clearly hunting them down pretty quick. We've just saved their lives, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah,
and that
true.
wasn't in our original agreement.
So they owe us one. I
But they
agree.
owe us more than one, as far as I'm concerned. So I feel that they would be dead without us.
My character as well respects Achilles because he's obviously an adept fighter, and I respect anyone that's a bit like brawny and all the rest of it. So yeah, I'll agree with that comment, and I'm happy to. I'm not so much happy about taking the ship, but like I said, there's more of us than there is of them, so there should be more reason for them to give us the information that we need to give us a bit
I
more.
feel Achilles is. We've asked nicely for information and didn't get anything. So I feel as though now we need to probably go with a bit more of a united front
More of
to leverage
odes.
our power on this.
Yeah, we're in a better position to renegotiate the original terms, I think.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay.
And also understand a bit more about the back passage, no more secrets.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
it's obvious these guys are pirates. Clovis Concord.
Anyone else got any
military.
thoughts on that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
No, go on, Harry.
No, I was going to say, I think we're owed an explanation or a bit more information and be a bit more open if they want to be a crew, more than anything. I mean, the main goal is just go to one place to help her get these water potions to help her do whatever, but now we've saved their ship. stopped the Concord from chasing up to us and escaped in a shark. Escaped a shark. So I
Yeah.
think we're owed a bit more transparency.
Adriana, did you see any? Did you get anything from that owl? Did you catch anything off that owl at all?
Yeah, so I want to share what I found with you guys when I did a perception check on it wasn't the owl, because the owl obviously went into the sea, but it was feathers left on the boat. There was a message coded in that, and it's along the lines of the Clovis Concord. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously that's who the owl was linked to. Now we've worked that out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the clover, so it's not the actual owl's feathers that you got it from. It was actually off the body of the traitor.
off the body.
It was
Oh,
off the
sorry.
body of the traitor that you found this information.
Apologies. So like, if we're all in a group, I would be like, guys, I need to share this information with you. I've had a look around the ship. I've found something that I think may be of interest to us. Obviously got less people on the ship. I'm not like fully trusting Captain Three Earrings. So the message is basically saying that what are we looking for? The scepter.
Yeah, so you're looking for the scepter that's been taken because it's got the ability to cause earthquakes, which is why Palmaflora sunk beneath the waves.
Yeah, so obviously we're aware that we're on a pirate boat. We're looking for the scepter, and then I've got a note to say that if we deliver that scepter, if I deliver the scepter directly to the Clovis Concord, we would get 800 gold.
So was that note for us then?
Well, I'm sharing it with you, so yes.
Yeah.
So if the owl had it, the owl message would have been direct. Was that message for that traitor? So whoever delivers it directly to them will get 800, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that traitor was planning on getting 800 for himself, or if we do it, we could get 800 split.
Yeah.
Just a quick question, Jess. Is that an even split?
Ariana.
I'm sorry.
That's great. Keep going. Solazina, you were speaking?
I was just wondering if that was an even split or whether you was going to be taking an extra because you found the message.
Like some Monty Python spin-off.
Yeah.
Monty Python, you're considering your character's built like a brick shithouse and she's female. You sound like a little old lady.
So like John Cleese.
So yeah, he says that the one in the Colosseum. I want to be known as Larissa.
I would split the money.
So split the 800.
Yeah,
40-45.
As a team.
Yeah, so we split the 800 as a team, but currently it's no, we get 500 as a team, don't we?
And I'm just wondering as well, because I've only just come onto the ship, and while I'm glad that I'm free now, I'm just wondering if everyone trusts me, who I should side with.
Yeah, when you say you're free now, were you captured before, or like prisoner before, or something, or what?
I was captured on the previous ship that sank with the shark.
You're safe with us. You're safe with us.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Where are you from?
I was wandering across the kingdoms with the band of men that I ran away from my castle with, and I kind of grew up with them, so we have no real home. I just go around kicking ass and looking for treasure and quests.
So Damo Rogar he's appreciative of someone who can hold their own in a battle and stuff like that, and if they look intimidating and stuff, Rogar's quite happy to accept you into our posse, because the more bigger and badass it is, the better it is.
Come on, Rogar, speak to him.
So, fucking hell. So, okay, I'm happy for you to jump on board if you want to. That's no issue by me. As long as you are planning on supporting and helping us out, I got no issues with it whatsoever.
Achilles appreciates such a polite, aggressive warrior joining us.
Thank you
has
for
no
helping within the fight. We should be like,
But
thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping.
oh, Achilles won't say that. He won't. He'll just kind of just crack on with his usual stuff and just give a nod.
Well, I'd like
Just
to build a bond with my team and like so they know that I'm honest. So basically,
I'll have fun,
amongst
guys.
so amongst the notes that I found, there was teeth marks on Jarko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Fair dues,
Nah.
Jeff. You remembered more than what I'm remembering.
And see, I've got it.
It's
But
important.
you
This
had an
is.
opportunity to catch up in a car, so you know what I mean. Go on, continue.
We didn't talk about it.
We actually didn't. Like, honestly, we didn't. I wrote it all down. I've got my pad. So because I want to share my story with you. When I found the note, it was also I noticed Jarkle had teeth marks on his body. Can't quite remember where. I think it was his
Hand.
hands. Thank you. So this is part of my backstory. It's got me questioning. So basically, me and my best friend were kidnapped, and I was able to escape. But I'm looking for my best friend along with you guys. And what happened is I had a dog back home that attacked the people that took us, and they left marks and scars.
Okay.
And I recognise the scars. So I think if we take on the quest of what he was having, it could link me and lead me to find my friend.
Okay, so it's on your agenda, which makes sense.
What was
So
that?
are we looking for your dog or your friend?
My friend.
Okay.
How long's she been missing?
4 months.
Probably dead.
Well,
Do you know what? That is how Bellamac's
Well.
going to act now. I'm quite comfortable with
Yeah.
Bellamac. Yeah, there you go. Ariana, how are you going to respond to this?
Mac, I don't really appreciate that. I'm looking for your support. I'm being open and honest with you.
I'm happy to support you. I'll help you find her, but we'll probably find a body. That's it. It's been 4 months, so.
So my character is I'll say it as Rogar in a moment, but my character, he's a paladin, so naturally he's religious, so he has beliefs and faiths and all the rest of it. So therefore, I you know what I mean, if someone believes in something enough that person's still there. So Rogar now saying it to Ariana, if you believe in enough that person's still alive and you need that support, then I'm happy to support you with it.
Thank you.
what was her name?
Oh shit.
The sabotage by Zavros.
Albina.
Ariana,
Albina.
you should.
Albina.
Ariana, you should have just pulled the amnesia card at that point. It's been a long fight. I'm too tired.
So the gambler in me thinks that we could probably play both sides.
Yeah.
So
So
continue what we're doing.
Achilles will put his hand up to be the bad cop if it needs to be.
Cool. So I think maybe we go find this scepter. We find the original buyer. We get our gold. Maybe that's then when we take the ship and the gold. And
Yeah, I
we
like
take the
this.
scepter back from the buyer. Take it back to
Okay.
the. Take
So
it back to the Clover's Concord.
If we're going to go have this conversation, Rogar is going to go and grab the corpse of the person that he rammed his lance through and drag it along for intimidation purposes to basically say this is the sort of shit that we deal with and this is how we play ball. So if we're going to have this conversation, I'm going to be holding the corpse of this person with me whilst we're having this chitty chat.
Okay, that's a good one. So I'd like you to roll for an intimidation check for me then, please.
Okay,
Is
let's
this
do
when
it.
we're having it with 3 earrings, or is this just in our little group discussion where you're slamming down your intimidation?
7 I got for
Okay.
intimidation.
Okay,
What did you get, Rogar?
7.
so
Oh, okay.
you're in your party at the moment. You've had this discussion. What is your overall aim? What do you want to do as a party?
So I think from what I've listened to from everyone, so Damo's speaking this now, is that we're gonna obviously try and jimmy both of them to try and get both angles of it. I'm happy to support Ariana, I'm happy to obviously get money for taking the scepter back, but if we can get anything out of the conversation, then let's do that as well. Because ultimately, we're going to be getting the scepter, irrelevant, no matter which way you look at it. 3 earrings wants us to go and get the scepter. So as long as we do it so that they can't pull the wool over our eyes or try and screw us over, because at the moment there's more of us than there is of them, and therefore we're in a position we got the bargaining chips, whereas they haven't. So they need us more
Stays
than we
with
need.
us.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave our sight. So if it's a case of, I know Achilles, you go into like a form of stasis where you can still sort of perceive when you're taking your long rest.
Yeah, so I've got a sentry mode that everyone can rest, and I can overwatch everyone.
Cool. So we can still do that. Have one of us hold the scepter while we're resting. So it's not a case where they can just sort of sneak up on us and take it to steal from underneath us.
Do you know, I always envision when you're like sentry mode, that blinking golden axe bit when you're sleeping and those little blinking things run around with a little.
I think we need to question. I'm not sure if we should speak to 3 earrings last and try and, if we've got one quite calm person and one quite erratic person. Maybe we could try. I'm not sure what the best way of doing it. Maybe either split up and take two like 2 and 2, or I'm just
2 separate
throwing it out
and then compare notes.
Maybe if we go around as one big massive party, not like a game of Cluedo.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I throw that out into the group and wait
For
to
now,
respond.
I think for now we just sort of play along.
Yeah.
Keep our cards close to our chest. We play along.
Okay.
See how we get more supplies. Tell them obviously that we weren't prepared for everything else that's gone on. We need to renegotiate.
Yeah.
Whether that's more gold, whether that's more information,
Yeah.
however that
really
looks like. Yeah.
Who's the most charismatic of us all?
I mean, you're staring at him, baby.
Yeah, I've only got +2. What have you got, Grant?
0.
Oh, check Mr. Charismatic.
I got a +1, so we're all good.
What's Jan? I want to hear that voice more. What's your charisma at, Jan?
How do I check that?
It's on your
What's
screen.
that?
On the
It's
app.
on your home screen.
I'm on there. Yeah.
It tells you charisma.
On your main, it's your main 6 skills. One will say charisma, and then you either get +1, +2.
Oh, okay.
Well, his persuasion is +3.
+1, Rogar.
+1. All right, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Grant's smashing out the pack. I think Ed's going to be joining us at some point as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So Captain Sylvester and Brant at the moment have gone below decks to their cabins to try and recover from obviously the wounds that they've taken, because they are the most wounded members of the party right now, apart from Zolazina, that's still standing and having a lovely conversation, even though she's got quite a few nicks all over her at the moment.
Does she smoke? Because it sounds like she smokes. She sounds a bit older than her age.
Zolazina inhales the fumes of burning corpses.
I love that. Don't fuck with me, Rogar.
I mean, this scary movie too, where that plant rolls blinking shortly into a bit.
Have we got some flirty banter going on between Rogar and
what?
flirty banter going on?
Flirty banter, innit?
If he plays his cards right.
I think Zavros is the gambler.
Half dragon, yeah. Scale, teeth, the works. Whatever floats your boat.
I was very impressed with your lands the last episode.
Who's nearest? Which of the 3 crew members is nearest?
The closest one is Dial U. He's moving about at the moment, sort of preparing the ropes, going up to the mainsail in the centre of the ship.
He's the one stamping about.
Daryu's, yeah, you're all in the centre around by the rowing boat where some of the bodies are. Daryu is literally, he's because there's not much crew now. He's moving from place to place, stamping. You can tell there's anger and frustration in him. He's got the rope and he's sort of tying it, wrapping it. But as he's doing it, there's a viciousness to it. And he's muttering to himself as well as he's going about his tasks.
Can I
As
go
he
over and
walks
start
back-
helping him?
Yeah, you can head over to help him, yeah. So as you walk around the side of the rowboat moving towards Daryu, the deck itself is slick with the blood and gore of the enemies that you defeated in the previous attack. You can hear the muttering as it gets louder. It's like, and he's like moving back and forth and stamping, and he's moving from task to task methodically. So as you approach him, he turns and he gives you a cold, hard glare.
Just wondering if you need any help, man.
Don't need a fucking help. No fucking help. We just went through. I don't need fucking help from you.
Yeah, I mean, I was part of what you went through, man. Is
Right.
this meant to bring you closer to people?
You have no fucking idea.
Rivalry?
You have no idea. You have no idea. No idea what I've gone through.
You just saved your ass.
Oh.
Say fuck all. I could have died on that ship and it wouldn't have given a shit. If I died on that ship, I wouldn't have given a shit.
Who wouldn't have given?
Me.
Why not?
You to ask me. Fucking seahorsing have just come over the side of Moonbeam. That fucking useless ship that's been patrolling, chasing us for fucking weeks. Weeks! Do you know how young I was? I was 6 when those lizard-looking fucking fish bastards came up onto the shore and drove one of those spear tips directly through the throat of my mother and my father in front of me. They gutted my brother. He was 4 years old. They took one of those fishing knives, dug it into his stomach and ripped his intestines out and dragged him to the shore, screaming all the time and crying. They dragged him to the shore in front of me, buried him underneath the waves, and that wasn't even the worst part. Because I saw him again. I saw my fucking brother again. I saw him die. And then a year later, my brother walks out of the fucking water. Scales, fins, and a head like a shark, with that medallion of my brother still hanging from his fucking neck. And you tell me, do you want to give me a hand? You've gone through the same shit as me? Fuck off.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna just jump in and go. Yeah, but if we didn't come over and support you, you would have ended up just like your brother. I get it's difficult, but you would have ended up in exactly the same.
I wouldn't have
position.
ended up in any fucking position, you scaly bastard. Listen to me. I would have killed myself long before that would ever fucking happen to me. I would have made sure that I died. I would have jumped into the maw of that fucking big ass shark that came after our ship. I would have ensured that I died. I will not become one of those things.
Now you haven't. You're still here.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Great. I'm stuck with a bunch of strangers on a ship that I've been on for a week or two.
I'm
You're
just
so
gonna
concerned. Off yourself now, port side.
I'm just gonna like boil like fucking as if like flames in my
Okay,
mouth.
yeah.
But then turn away. I'm just gonna turn away. I'm just gonna go. Nope, I can't fucking get into an argument, and I turn my back. I can't fucking speak to this
Okay,
guy.
so you've walked off, yeah?
Yeah, I
it-
just turn my back. I'm still in proximity, but I'm just like I can't be dealing with this because I'm gonna want to chew his head off.
Right, okay.
Why has he only been down there for a couple of weeks? Where's he
No,
before?
he's known us for a couple of
It's
weeks.
you.
Oh.
Listen to me. I have gone from port town to port town, seen tribes of these seahorsing all along the coast, and it doesn't matter whether you're Clovis Concord or Revelry or whoever the fuck faction that you support. You could be a merchant galley, it doesn't matter. If you go into their waters, you're gonna end up dead. Fucking dead. Like my brother, like my mother, like my father, my whole family killed in front of me. And now, a crew that I thought of as my family, that I thought that I've finally found a place to belong, one of them betrays us, and the others are dead. Tell me exactly, adventurers, Zavros, what am I supposed to do in this situation? No, don't answer that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As soon as we get to Palmaflora and we take those water-breathing potions and we dive beneath the waves, I'm going to tear the fucking head off of that priestess myself!
So let us help you get there.
Yeah, so I'll spin back
So
round and
vent
I'll
your
say,
family together.
yeah, and I'll spin back round and say, well, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here for, is to take them out and hopefully allow your family to rest easy whilst we've gone and annihilated them. We're here to support you to do the same
All
thing.
you care about is gold. If it wasn't for the gold, you wouldn't be fighting this battle. I'm here trying to save up as much as I can so I can get a ship and a crew of my own so I can take the battle to the Seahorsen, so I can hunt them down in their tribes and slaughter them. Every single one of them. Not a single tribe left on the Menagerie Coast. And now we find they have a priestess that can sink islands with the use of a scepter. Sink islands. If all Seahorsen tribes unite under a single banner following this one priestess, the Menagerie Coast will not be safe, and it won't matter if you're Clovis Concord, and it won't matter if you're with the Revelry Pirates. It won't matter who you're with. This entire coast will be death and blood and sea and waves for all time.
You're not going to be able to do that by yourself, mate. You need people, so let us help.
I need a ship and I need a crew, and I need people who are willing to take the fight
Who's
to
in your
them
crew
directly.
Right now? Who's in your crew right now? How many of our?
Ask the
how many
body.
of you
Ask
on
the
there?
bodies on the deck.
Bodies? How many people on the crew right now? No, they're not answering me, mate. What? How many are on the crew?
Okay, if you can roll for a dexterity check for me, please.
Can I ask a question while you're doing that?
Yeah, yeah.
Or as Ariana.
It's me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jess. Question. You mentioned his brother was turned into one of them. Is his brother still one of them?
Are you asking me, or are you going to ask him? Because I can't answer. You've got to ask him.
Because I have this concern that he's like really, really upset and angry, but I got a funny feeling that if we're going to go along with this, he's going to come face to face with his brother. Have I just ruined the story?
Well, no, it's just I'm thinking
No,
Pirates
no.
of the Caribbean. I can't help but reference it in movies. So I'm thinking Pirates of the Caribbean. Do you know what I mean? Everyone gets in, like, they become part of the crew or the Seahorsemen.
Or
or
the
whatever.
crew, part of ship.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
That's quite good, wasn't it?
Just before we ask that question, you take 1 bludgeoning damage, Zavros, as he swings overhand and clips you directly in the eye, dropping you to the deck.
Right, on that attack, Achilles kind of steps in
He
to try
also
to
takes
sweep
5 frost damage.
Yeah, that's fine. So as the fist plows into you, knocking you to the deck, the frost begins to grow up his arm and he begins to shake and recoil back as it begins to sort of bite and sting and burn all along his arm. Begins to shake it like in frustration before punching the deck in frustration.
Can I just ask, out of character, these fish people, and what you're talking about here, so they live under the sea, do they?
Yes.
Okay.
Pineapple
Yes.
under the sea.
Because I think what Solazina's going to do is Solazina, obviously, as we know, lost her ship and her family, her crewmen at sea. She was rescued, but obviously they're all still missing. So I think Solazina's going to come over and she's going to kind of, empathise with him. Or sympathise, I'd say, actually, and say, look, I appreciate that your brother is turned into one of these, but my family are missing, all my men, that I fought with for years, who raised me basically as one of their own. And,
He looks at you with a perplexed expression on his face. He's still feeling pain, but he looks at you. What's your name?
Solazina.
I have to change that voice.
A ship that was destroyed. And a warrior princess? Yes, your ship is gone, but some of your men still survive. Some of your men still exist in Dark Toe. 3 of them, to be specific, 3 of your men, and they set out on a quest to find you, to rejoin you. But they didn't know where to start searching. They'll be on our mission. and where we'll eventually end up when we get that fucking scepter and we sell it.
Right, I want to roll for persuasion, and I want to fucking try and get him on board and fucking give him a shake up, and basically just fucking grip him and just fucking like,
All right,
you know,
roll for intimidation then for me, please.
intimidation. All right, okay.
Baby.
You're trying to
You said
intimidate
grip
him.
All right, okay, yes, roll again then. Come on, motherfucker.
Is there like a persuasion roll, is there?
Hmm.
5.
You're not very intimidating.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Was
Okay.
fired from battle.
So as Rogar moves over to start intimidating, the fire is still coming out of your maw where you started sort of getting angry and frustrated at the situation, but the fire is bringing off plumes of smoke that obscures your vision. So as you go to grab him, instead of grabbing him, you walk straight past him and grab some ropes on the deck instead and start shaking them and shaking them in instead.
All right, so yeah, okay. All right,
So,
fuck it,
how would I come from like a sympathy, like, we're in the same boat, my men are probably down there as well, at least half of them.
that'd be persuasion.
I give you a persuasion check with advantage purely because you're in the exact same situation.
So you get to roll it twice. You take the highest number.
So where do I roll that, guys?
So it should be under your main sort of skills. There'll be a big well, on the app is slightly different, but it'll be like a ream of all different things, and persuasion will be one of them.
Actions, skills.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's the one.
When persuasion, it follows on from charisma, I think.
Persuasion. Yeah, I'm +3 anyway. Persuasion.
If
So
you're
roll
on,
it
if you're on
twice.
the app, hold it, and then you can literally pick advantage.
Advantage. Yeah,
There you go.
and then roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and again.
Well,
Nice.
again.
Yeah.
Rolled with advantage though, didn't you?
Oh, so does that give him 2
Yeah,
rolls?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both 9s.
Oh, devastating. Okay, so as you go over to persuade him, so is it not? Is it
I
9
didn't
with a
roll-
+3?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was one roll. It was 2 9s on 2 dice.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
then
two
yeah,
rolls, so that was
2
the
rolls.
advantage.
So you get +3, which is 12. Okay, so how are you going to convince him? Talk to Dario. How are you going to convince him? What are you going to say to him?
Here comes Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Brown's coming on.
Choose yourself up.
What's his name?
Dario.
Dario. Look, Dario. I appreciate that your brother's lost and that he's a monster now. But I'm really worried about my men. They've sunk. They're down there somewhere. And like your brother, they could become a monster like that in the future. We really need to get to them and help them. Surely you understand that. Surely you can put yourself in my shoes
Oh, I
where you was with your
understand it.
brother.
I understand it. Do you want to be part of my crew? First
I'll be
member of my
part of your
crew. First member of my crew. Me and you, Zolazina. Me and you. We're going to get a ship. We're going to get the men. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down there and we're going to kill them, aren't we?
We are, but I think...
No, me and you, Zolazina. We're going to go down there and we're going to kill them.
We can't do it on our own. We need the rest of them. They fought by the side of us. They bled together. We've all bled together. We're stronger together. We need everyone. We need each other. Come on.
While you saying
need
we
to
all
do
bled
this.
together, I'm just sort of like dusting off my jacket.
I can remember.
Didn't get a
taking
single
it.
hit. Take a single hit, prestidigitation, make sure my hair's in place.
So
Dario
Dario's
just
sort
get
of...
back in.
Yeah,
I don't remember the fight.
So Dario looks around at you in sort of suspicious undertones, goes, will you join my crew?
Will you join us?
No, that's not how this works. Will you join my crew?
Achilles looks at him with a thing like he doesn't like being spoken to like that. And we'll just give him a pause.
He's so he's so furious he doesn't even notice the expression. He's filled with rage. He's just rambling at this point.
You could do an intimidation.
I'm gonna try and I want to sweep his legs to knock him on the floor, just to try and calm him down a little bit.
I
Sundo just
reckon
kind
you
of
could do
he flicks his
intimidation.
spear out. He flicks his spear out of his feet to try and knock him to the floor.
Okay, so do you want to? Well, that's a bit of an interesting one, actually. I don't know how I would do this without
Roll
roll.
to attack.
Yeah, roll to attack.
I don't want
Would
to
it, be,
hurt him.
would it be like a sneak attack if he's like kind of just
Like,
doing it on the swift one, or
What am I
You know?
rolling?
So roll
You
for
roll
attack.
to attack with your spear, and
Just
then
roll attack.
yeah,
Okay, and then roll for damage.
Well, I don't want to hurt him.
you can do non-lethal damage.
Yeah, you can do non-lethal damage.
All right. What's that? Unarmed strike.
You should still do the damage with a spear, but it just means if he
okay.
drops to 0, you're not trying to kill him.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
trying to kill him. Yeah.
he just falls through the boat to like the bottom deck?
Okay.
Goes overboard.
So Dario, at the moment, he's sort of moving between you already, like, you know, he's shouting in your faces, goes, "Will you join my crew? Will you join it?" And then just as he comes to Achilles kicks the bottom of his spear so that the bottom darts out and the top lands on Achilles' shoulder. And as he does it, it catches him between his legs as he's walking, and it trips him, so he goes face first into a cannon. So he's gone face first into the metal of the cannon, pinged off, and knocked himself out on the deck.
Brilliant. I didn't want to do that either.
right. Can I,
Piece of
can
quiet.
I go over and check on him?
You can, yeah. Okay, is it medicine check, is it?
Yeah, we could do. I just want to make sure he's okay. Yeah.
Do a
Can I roll
medicine
that?
check. Yeah, do a medicine check for me, please.
I'm just sat here being like, please be dead, please be dead, please be dead.
Are you saying it or do you mean it?
Just mumbling it under my breath.
mumbling
please
it.
Be dead, please be dead.
Okay.
Max intelligence is probably saying it out loud.
Yeah.
I want to be along the lines of like, look, I understand you're upset, but we're all in the same boat right now. We've all just been through what you've been through. I know you've got background, but we're here to support each other.
Okay.
You see that? You see
So
that
wait,
thing?
hang on. Can you roll an intelligence check for me, please? Ariana,
19.
Ew.
can you roll an intelligence check for me, please?
Why?
Just roll it.
Where's that?
Top one.
Fair play, Jess. Go on.
What did I say? What did I do?
No, it's
Just
just
roll-
why? I'm not
Right,
rolling that.
okay, wait. I'll explain now. So as Ariana moves across the deck to go over to the unconscious form of Dario and starts talking to him as if you can see. So for some reason, Ariana, it hasn't clocked in your mind that he's unconscious. So you're walking over to him and checking on him. You can tell that he's unconscious and you can tell he's knocked out, but you're still trying to persuade him, even though he's knocked out, to calm down. So you're looking him over and you're like, oh, you know, he's going to have a concussion. You should really calm down at the moment. You should stop shouting. And, you know, he goes, you know, it seems like it's been quite a bad bump. You need to make sure that you're looking after yourself because you can't keep shouting around the deck.
Remember your first aid training now. Check if they're responsive. Put them in the recovery session.
I changed what I just did. I didn't mean it for that.
It's
I mean,
okay,
if
that's why I
that
got
don't
you to
work,
roll.
He has calmed down.
Yeah, he has calmed down. It has been an effective pep talk.
Well done.
Just kind of to bring him back, right?
To be fair, I failed an intelligence check yesterday when we were playing Harry Potter trivia, so don't worry about it. That was
Got
a
a medicine check at 19 though.
The job that he was doing before, was that just sort of pulling the ropes and
He's just pulling the ropes
tying off the
taut
sails
just to
and
make
stuff?
sure that the sails are tied off and secure, ready for continuing along Heidel's path where he's taking you.
Cool. I'll make sure that's done because I know we sort of stopped him like mid-job while he started shouting and stuff.
Yeah, so
Make
you
sure
go
that
over.
the ropes are tied off and it's not finished the job sort of thing.
Okay, bro. Do you
Can I
make
do
it?
some other checks? Sorry, can I do some other checks as well, just to see if there's things that need to be done with the sails or whatever, tying stuff down, etc.
Yeah. So you can go out and do sort of checks as well. I'm assuming that this is going to be some kind of. There's going to be some check that we're going to need to do here. I'm just thinking which
Would it
one's
be like
the best one.
initiative or
It won't be an
check?
well, no, because
Nah, it won't be initiative.
you're
No,
ti-
not initiative.
tying
Sorry.
off the ship, aren't you? You're making sure that it's ready.
General intelligence check, is there?
Yeah, I do a general intelligence check.
All right.
You do a performance check, couldn't you, on that? Yes.
Could do a slight
While he's doing
With
it.
a bit of pizzazz.
Yeah.
could do a sleight of hand check, to be fair, depending on how quickly he wants to do it.
Oh,
Yeah, I got 5.
You got 5.
No.
Okay, so as you move over, Bellimac, you're still muttering to yourself, you please be dead, please be dead, please be dead, please be dead, please be dead. And you get over to the ropes, and you look at the ropes, and you can see then that they're just a jumble. You don't understand it at all. So you turn about on your heel, walk back to the group, but instead of saying, please be dead, please be dead, please be dead, it's now, please be alive, please be alive, please be alive, please be alive, please be alive.
Is there a mop anywhere or anything like that?
A mop?
Yeah. Was all blood all over the ship?
Yeah, so
I'm quite a vain person, so I don't want to be just standing around in pools of blood and stuff. I want to get rid of the
There's-
bodies and start cleaning up.
So there's no mop in the immediate vicinity that you can see. However, there are like some just wooden poles and things like that.
Alright, cool. I'll just start going
I don't know-
along, casting prestidigitation, then to clean up the blood.
With him being knocked out,
Things.
are any of his crew members reacting to it? Is the captain or the guys, or the first mate reacting to him being knocked out?
Captain Three Earrings is an insight, so they can't see it, and Hydar's focused on maintaining the course, so they don't actually see Daryu knock himself out, or get knocked out by you.
If we
Okay.
was taking the ship, that's one less person than we need to worry about.
So
Can
while
we
he's
stop?
knocked out of curiosity, like I know we all sleep in a very similar area, but do you think it'd be worth like going down and doing like a stealth check or having a look around his sleeping quarters to figure out if there's anything else he's hiding?
I was going to pat him down.
Hmm?
I was going to pat him down. I was going to rob him. I was going to see what was in it, see what was on his person anyway. So that's what Achilles was going to do, or suggest it to someone else. But probably Achilles would do it now that he's knocked him out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to do, so it's not perception because you're focusing specifically on the body. So if you can just do an insight check for me instead, please.
19.
Okay. So as you're patting down the body, you can't feel anything in his pockets, even though there's sort of blood stains everywhere. But as you're moving sort of slowly up the chest, checking some of the sort of pockets on there, you come across the neck area. And as you're patting it down, you feel a small sort of lump just where the main chest is. And as you pull the shirt down, there's a medallion that's hanging on his neck. There's a medallion on his neck.
That's probably going to be his brother's brothers.
It's brothers, isn't it? It's gonna be a family one.
Or his. They might have the same pendant. You don't know. It might have been like a family thing that they had together.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, what's it look like?
So the medallion itself it's a gold inlay moving in a spiral circle around a blue gemstone.
okay.
Do you think it's worth having a look around his sleeping quarters? Do you think there'd be anything there? I reckon I want to do that.
I think he's telling the truth on his stuff, but
Well, if they're all preoccupied, I could go down and have a look at all their stuff, can't I?
Good
Yeah,
too.
I want to do that. Can I do that?
Yeah, give you
Rogue
stealth
just doing
check.
rogue things.
Yeah,
Stealth
rogue
check.
just doing a rogue thing. Do a stealth check with advantage for me, please.
How do I do it with an advantage?
Just roll it twice. Just roll it twice on the thing, please. Yeah.
Yeah, you can either
I
just
got a
roll
letter.
twice.
What the
oh, I don't need to, Jess. You've got crit. It's fine.
Have you got a crit? Have you? Yep, she's got a
Yeah,
crit.
you can play.
Okay, so as you sneak below the decks, Captain Three Earrings, you can see, is looking over the front of the ship. Heidal is far at the back, steering the ship at the moment. Daryu is still knocked out, so as you've got up, you've sort of picked up, fluttered, and moved really quickly because you've practiced at this now. You've done it once already where you've flown directly in really quietly, so you've done the same thing. You've looped over and flown straight in. And as you've gone down, you've sort of come across the crew's quarters all evenly in line, and you find Daryu's. And as you move into Daryu's, similar to Captain Three Earrings when you investigated it previously, it's a very simple affair, drab. There's a cot for them to be able to sleep in. There's a small sort of cabinet for keeping clothing and items. And then there's a table, a chair with a candle and a book on the table.
What's the book?
Okay, so as you go over to look at the book, you can see that on the front of the book is the words journal written.
Okay. I want to read it.
Yeah. So as you open the pages, on the initial first page that you read, the writing is scrawled. It doesn't make any sense. It's almost like a 3-year-old just wrote it. So it's all over the place with any specific form to the lettering, but it's as if someone's really trying to write in the book. So there's no form to it. It's just scribbles on page 1. As you flip the page over and you go to page 2, those scribbles continue. And that scroll continues. But now you can see that there's some small letters beginning to form. You can see there's an A there and a C. Okay. And you turn over to page 3. And as you turn over to page 3, the scribbles are starting to gain more form. Again, so they're growing. You can see that there's some small words that are starting to form out of it now, and it's sort of perplexing. But it's less scribble now. It's starting to be more fluid. You move on to the next page on page 4, and you see the words mum and dad written. Again, more scroll. The words don't really have any form, but you can see the words mum and dad written. You continue to go through the pages with 1 or 2 words being picked out, and then there seems to be this change. You can see the words pain, suffering, changing, feeling sick, not being able to breathe correctly. You're seeing all of these things and all of this part come out of the journal, and as you begin to flick through it more and more and more, you begin to find evidence that it wasn't his brother that was gutted on the beach and turned into one of these things. It was him that was turned into one of these things. It was him that was ripped apart and transformed into this creature. And as you continue to read through, you can see the transformation. At the start of the journal was when he'd originally been transformed. He was trying to fight back to himself. It doesn't give specific details on how he managed to come back to being human. All you're getting from the end pages of the book. So it's gone from draw, understanding what's happened, saying his impact and how he's been feeling, and then all it comes to, and the last page is, I just kills the horse in. Kill them all, kill them, kill them all, kill them, kill them all, kill them, kill them all. Written one after another, constantly, continually, for pages and pages and pages and pages and pages.
Wow. Got a little psycho on our hands.
It's like a curse or something then.
How is he in form now then? We need to figure that out.
Are you coming back to tell us that information now?
Yeah. No, but not on
cool.
the deck, not with everyone there. I think we should go below when we're not with everyone else. Is there anything else in the room?
Nothing. There's a cabinet, and you can look through the cabinet.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Is this the guy who this is the guy we just knocked out then?
Yeah. So you go in through the cabinet. It's a wooden sort of oak affair, nothing too sort of expensive or fancy. It's very simple, very drab. And as you go up and you're opening drawer after drawer, you're finding spare clothes, some essentials, some ship biscuits and things like that.
What essentials? What essentials?
Say shit biscuits or shit biscuits?
Ship.
There's one for the raisins in.
Well, I imagine that
this one's got corn.
Yeah, so the 2 meanings. They are ships, as in SHIP biscuits, but they're more than likely shit biscuits because they are shit biscuits. So
what essentials?
Food. There's a small flask with ale in it. Because naturally, water's not gonna last out at sea, so there's ale and rum and things like that.
Can I steal it?
You can steal it.
Do I need to do a sleight of hand?
No, there's no one around. No one's gonna.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no point. You can do a sleight of hand trick if you're trying to show off.
Don't be rolling. If you can take.
Should I try and show off?
Go on, try and show off.
Show off
to yourself. To yourself.
Okay, so as you reach into the drawer, you've got 2 flasks in front of you, like these 2 glass decanters, which has got the rum and the ale in. So as you reach into it, you sort of look around, And as you look around, your wings begin to flap furiously. That starts to beat some of the dust up on the deck. And as you do it, you hit the top of it. Both bottles fly out in front of you. You do a flip, catch them both, and then pop them in your bag.
Nice.
Nice.
And then you just...
So what, are now 2 flasks of ale?
You've got a flask of ale and a flask of rum.
I'm going to win a chicken dinner.
Yeah, you've got to be nice to me if you want to share it. Is there anything else worth taking?
Nothing worth taking. That's all it is. There were the ship's
No
biscuits in there as well. No gold, but there's ship's biscuits.
We'll take some biscuits. We'll share them around the crew. Bit
Yep.
of food in it. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
You're welcome, guys. We'll share that later.
Shall we tie this guy up then? If he's an absolute fucking lunatic to begin with.
Yeah, and realistically, if we got that diary, we can go talk us through this. You bully bullshit
Well, if no one's seeing us tying him up, we can just kind of leave. We could take him downstairs and tie him up.
I didn't take the journal.
You don't take the
Yeah.
journal. No, you leave the journal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
leave
we-
the
we
journal.
don't
I think
know
we
if-
take.
We don't know anything that Ariana's done.
Yeah, you
No,
don't know
last
anything yet.
time-
Ariana's still down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's
Bring
still
me
on
in.
there. Okay.
I'd probably
wait for her to
leave
come back.
DDU just in a
At
bit
this
of a
point,
recovery
Captain
position.
Three Earrings begins to walk around the side of the rowboat and starts to approach the main party. Ariana is still downstairs at the moment, so you're just coming up, fluttering up the stairs, and you get to the door when you see Captain Three Earrings approaching the rest of the party. So you're hidden at the moment. You're sort of ducked behind the door that leads out onto the main deck, and Captain Three Earrings approaches you all.
I kind of need to come out of there, don't I?
You can,
I'd
but
say that,
she
don't
says
you?
she's in eyesight of that door at the moment. Realistically, your cabins are down there as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can hear what's going on there, can't I?
Yeah, you're within earshot, so you can hear exactly what's going on.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, so Captain Three Earrings approaches you. Her usual swagger has resumed, so she walks over to you. Well then, crewmates. I didn't expect for that sort of a battle, but you proved yourself more than worthy. More than useful, and I feel that you've earned my trust enough for us to discuss exactly what it is that we're doing here. So, would you like to know?
Yeah.
Spill the beans.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Who's she? Who
That's
is
my long lost
she?
cousin.
That's your long lost cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
I question your family genetics.
My mother was a human.
Your mother was a human.
Yeah, and Solazina here is human.
Solazina looks like a giant, not a human. But we'll approach this subject another day. So, from my perspective, I haven't been completely forthright with you. I haven't lied to you, but I haven't been completely forthright with you. We are a band of revelry pirates, and we have been being chased by the Clovis Concord for some time. I did suspect that there was a traitor amongst the crew, and it was useful to have you on board, and I needed outsiders to ensure that if anything did happen, we had the additional support. For that I thank you greatly. We are part of the revelry cause, and we are working not only for gold at the moment, but we are trying to secure the safety of the ships of the revelry pirates against the threat that this Seahorsen menace presents. The reason we wish for the scepter is we mean to take it back to our base in Darktow and defend it and ensure that it never lands in the hands of the Seahorsen again. Their raids have increased and revelry ships are under attack at all times. At the moment, this is a quest to save lives, and we understand that it is a money incentive. It is a money incentive, granted. But we do need support.
I think we should bargain for a ship. If they're saving ships, they're gonna have a spare one, aren't they?
Achilles is still quite wary of what he's saying, and it was like, if this was such a noble quest to begin with, why wouldn't you be why wouldn't you be telling us this straight to begin with?
The truth is this, we're not exactly, how should we say, legal. And as you can imagine, the Clovis Concord has already snuck one spy upon our ship, which has already been proven. No offence to you all, but until recently you have been strangers, and you have been unproven in this as well. When we went to the first island where we got our water-breathing potions, I'll be honest, we already had water-breathing potions on the ship that would have supported you. I needed to see if I could trust you. If you would keep me a secret moving through a Clovis Concord base. You proved yourself more than admirably, and for that I return all the gold that you spent on the water-breathing potions to you as thanks, and in addition to that you get an additional 10 gold for rendering service in escorting me through the town.
We
Damon's,
didn't pay for anything.
she paid for it.
Pay
So I'm
for it.
Yeah.
Very well, I forgot that you won that persuasion check.
You ain't taking that back now.
But I'm not going to
You're
take it
gonna
back.
take gold, yeah?
I'm not going to take it back because she is quite confused at the moment after the battle, so you can still take the additional gold back.
How
Right,
much
right.
did you give us for the potions?
At the time it was 20 gold each, I believe, but you've all just been given 30 gold each.
We've just been
Nice.
given 30.
You've just
Yeah.
been given 30 gold each.
So I add
Do we have,
that.
do we have to add that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
our intent is to, once we have defeated the Seahorse and Menace, and I understand that we are now going to need to resupply, there is no situation that we're not going to need to now. Once we have taken the opportunity to be able to resupply, we will need to go to Palmaflora, we will need to sink beneath the waves, and we will need to defeat this priestess. You have already seen the abominations that have been being created. You've barely seen exactly what we have. Sea creatures, sea monsters, as big as our ships, tearing them down.
Is
It
there
was-
supplies of Palmaflora? Or is there supplies of Palmaflora?
Palmaflora no longer exists, it's sunk beneath the waves. Bisaft Isle is very near, we could potentially go to Bisaft Isle. That is a real perspective. I would be concerned about sailing anywhere else. We're very low on supplies, our crew is very low as well, and I'm deeply concerned about our ability to be able to pilot this ship currently with the men that we have.
How many gold did we get?
30.
So are you looking to restock on crew as well as supplies, or are we to be your crew?
I trust you, strangers. I know that sounds strange, but you have earned my trust. I have to be honest. I would not be looking to bring on any other crew because I trust you completely.
What about your crew? Do you trust your crew?
Who's it
What's
with?
left? Hideout.
Dave, whatever his name is, or fucking Afterlife. You know the one that says all the dates. What was it? What's big and comes in pints and effort.
Hideout. So, Hideout has been sailing with me since I was young and has always been my trusted right hand. And Dial-U, and everything that he's been through, yes, I understand he can be more than just a hothead, and in battle he can be ferocious when unleashed upon the enemy that you saw took down the moonbeam. He has every reason to be furious and to fight for it. I trust Dial-U to do what he thinks is right, and Hydal has my complete trust and loyalty.
Okay, Damo speaking. So, are we all aware that that person was a traitor? I'm assuming so. No.
What,
but
Jarkal,
we-
yeah.
Yeah. So
You all saw it.
Okay, so I'll ask the question then. So you trust your crew, but what about this person who was a traitor?
I told you that I was aware that there was potentially a traitor on board, and it was necessary for me as a captain to take a step back in the fighting to see who proved themselves and who it was that betrayed me.
Traitors.
My crew walked forward to engage, I moved back, and I watched and I waited for the traitor to reveal themselves, and I took their fucking life after they killed Boeth. I lost many good men. However, the price was worth it. The traitor taken, Moonbeam destroyed. Sometimes it is necessary to employ a ruthless strategy, even if it means taking yourself off the board, to ensure success.
Okay.
He's got turns his back on that statement. He doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna have to start teaching us how to be crew, because I don't know about the rest of us, but I don't have sailing experience.
Very well. Okay. Your Captain Sylvester, I believe, is an experienced captain that has sailed in these waters along the Menagerie coast in the past. He will take the time to be able to prepare you, whilst I ensure that the ship is prepared and ready and purchase any supplies that we need, ensuring that you do not have to spend anything on any supplies when we reach Bisaft Isle. We'll be fully stocked for this mission, and I ensure that I can trust in you completely.
Also, I think we proved that during that fight.
I'm not a stupid captain, Zavros. You prove nothing other than your ability to survive. Fighting alongside me and getting us back to Dark Tow, that is how you will prove yourself to me. Being an ally of the Revelry Pirates means a lot more than just gold.
So how far are we off from where we're going then?
Bisaft Isle is no more than an hour's journey away. It will take us some time to be able to get to Bisaft Isle, and naturally, as you could understand, without a full complementary crew at the moment, and Bellimac, I did see your attempt at trying to sort the ropes. I appreciate it, however, please stay away from them.
Should probably teach your crew to tidy up your ropes more than anything, really, then, shouldn't you?
That may be true, Bellimac, however, you should stay on board the ship next time there is a fight. There's swings and roundabouts around here.
Yeah, I just did my share a bit of fighting.
It's a plague.
Did you just quote?
I'm round
Did you
Think
just
last time
quote two swings and roundabouts? I mean, Stu always says.
What is this rain debate of you speak of? I don't know such a thing.
We used to have one in the Zemley Fields. You just sort of sit on it and get pushed around.
Do you not know what roundabouts are, strangers? There is a pole, and multicoloured strings are attached to it, and children run amok around it. Are you so dim that you've never played children's games before? That's right, don't fuck with me, I know my history.
Maypole, isn't it? It's a maypole.
Yeah.
Right, fuck it. In the mat. I'm not arguing. Let's go.
Right, I'm going to go down towards where Brantsar and Captain Sylvester are then, and I'm going to start my short rest if we're an hour out.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So we're going to prepare for the short rest then. So you're going down to where Brant and Captain Sylvester are. Is everyone in agreement and joining them for this?
Are we not speaking to the guy that's really calm?
Yeah, I was going to say we need to probably speak to him as well.
Are there any noticeable supplies around that we can use?
Roll for perception for me, please.
Of course I can.
I'm going to go get drunk on ale.
9.
Okay, so you look around and you see lots of crates and lots of boxes. And as you're all sort of stood there, Captain Three Earrings has begun to wander off so that she's going up the deck to the main wheel to speak to Heidal. And as you're looking around, Rogar in the middle of you sort of peers around suspiciously. And you're looking at him like, what's Rogar doing? And Rogar just sits there and goes, crates, boxes, barrels, supplies. Nothing other than that.
Okay.
Wes does you so fucking dirty.
Did we loot all the corpses last time?
Yeah, why have I still got that corpse in my hand?
Just walking around with a corpse. Like,
Yeah, so what's happened is you have been dragging it behind you. However, what's actually happened is halfway of dragging it, it keeps making, because the lance keeps coming in and out of like below their groin area. It keeps making like a sucking farting noise as you're walking. So as you're walking,
So I was just imagining Cork walking around like at the end of Ragnarok with the
yeah.
So I'm like,
this is meat. I like that. I'm comfortable with Rogar actually just picking up and holding the body and just carrying it around with him at the moment. So you've cast prestidigitation on the whole deck, so it is appearing clean. But as you've gone over to do it to Rogar, Rogar sort of shied away as if protective of the body that he's killed.
Right, fair enough.
Should make it like a puppet, and you just kind of like talk to it, or make it talk.
Yeah.
I reckon you should come downstairs and I'll offer you ale and biscuits.
So Ariana, so Captain Three Earrings has gone now. You can peer around safely without being revealed.
Cool. I'm up for shit biscuits and beer.
So are you
I
going?
need to update you on something that I found.
Cool.
Okay.
What have you found, Ariana?
We need to go downstairs, out the way.
Yeah, so as you begin to walk down the decks, you can see you've got the room with 2 cots in there, which is Captain Three Earrings and not Captain Three Earrings, sorry, but Captain Sylvester Shadows and Brant are both sort of asleep at the moment, resting and healing from their wounds. As you knock on the door and enter, it's a wide enough room that you can sort of all fit in or gather around the door, and they wake up to listen to this, so they're also aware. So Captain Sylvester and Brant are also aware of this information.
Do we need to do like a perception check to make sure no one's listening?
I'll stand by the door as well, so I can hear and keep an eye out for people coming down.
I wouldn't do a perception check, because a perception check would be making sure it's clear. You already know it's clear. I do a stealth check, but because Achilles is supporting you with that, I do it with advantage.
Okay. A stealth check.
Yeah, a stealth check with advantage.
Someone said ale.
So roll twice.
Yeah, roll twice. Don't worry about rolling again. So yes, you're quite comfortable and quite confident that you're speaking in hushed tones to be able to have this sort of conversation without anyone overhearing. You can hear Captain Three Earrings and Hydal in deep conversation, and Daryu is still knocked out on the deck at the moment. Rogar has brought the body with him because he's refusing to put it down at the moment. He's just carrying it around with him.
Kind of want to ask him, Rogar, do we need the body?
Not even here.
He's not even there.
Rogar, why are you still carrying around the body?
Why are you still carrying around the body? It's starting to smell.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the small little window and I'm going to jab the body out the small hole. Like trying to push the bits down and plug hole after you've done the dishes.
Can I have a strength check from you, please?
Yeah, of course. Hopefully this one's a decent one.
The body gets stuck halfway.
I got +4 on strength. That should be all right. Yeah, boy! 23.
Okay, so as you move towards where one of the cannon slots would normally be, you lift it up using your strength to sort of pull the hatch open where the cannon would normally roll out. So you go back, you still got the body under your arm, you walk back calmly, pick the cannon up and drag it away so that there's the ability to push it. So as you get up, you sort of size it up and you look at the body, you look at the hole, you look at the body, look at the hole, and you come to the realization that the hole isn't big enough. So what you do instead is you sort of fold the body in half, so you're breaking its bones, you're folding the body up quite neatly and packing it down while everyone's watching you. So you're sort of like, everyone's watching you, you turn, and then just deposit it out in a big box out the side, and there's a huge splash as it hits the water.
Like Jack Reacher putting a body in a boot.
Breaking his legs like
Sweet.
Okay, so you've got to so Ariana, it's for you to reveal now what's happening.
Okay, so I went underneath to have a look at you call it
Daryu.
Yeah. I found his journal and I'm slightly concerned. So I was reading through and it started off really that you couldn't read it. It was just scribbles on a piece of paper. And then all of a sudden words came in and it was pain and suffering and changing and breathing, and it turns out the story he's told us, it was actually him, not his brother. And the medallion that he's wearing is actually his, not his brother's. And he was going through the transformation of having the shark head and he couldn't breathe because he was above water. And the last pages would just kill them all. And I'm very concerned.
Is he tied up?
We just sort of left him there, didn't we?
Yeah, we just left him up
I'm
on the
a
deck
good
tied up.
time. We got beer. Woo!
Ooh,
Okay,
And Rem.
we can kill him.
I'll have a drink if you're pouring.
Oh.
Okay, so
Use that for anything.
at this point, you've all sort of got your water skins out, and Ariana's topping them up, and you all have a fair few drinks, so you're a little bit tipsy at this point.
Achilles doesn't drink.
Can I
Other
do
than
like an
Achilles.
Arcana? Do like an Arcana check to see.
He's still guarding the door for making sure people aren't coming down. So he's just kind of like on his edge, halfway between the door and whatnot.
Okay, what do you want to do an Arcana check for?
So the medallion that he's wearing, because obviously he looks just like a normal sort of person, not a fucking half shark mutant or
Shall I
whatever.
go and get? Shall I go and bring him
Whether
downstairs?
that medallion is to make him seem normal.
Yeah.
Okay, roll for an Arcana check for me, please.
Medallion stood out a bit, didn't it?
That's not that great. I need a 7.
Okay. Looking at the medallion, it just looks like a normal sort of medallion you would find in a fisherman's village. You know about them, or you've at least heard about them in the past, called mermaids' tears. And they're quite popular in terms of fashion around the Menagerie Coast.
Shall I go? I kind of gestured behind. Do you want me to go and get him to tie him up?
Say again, you broke up a bit there, Matt.
So I said I'm gonna gesture to the. I'm gonna turn to the party and say, do we want to leave this madman on the pit, on the ship, unattended, passed out currently?
Maybe we should tell 3 earrings in case she knows.
I vote to throw him overboard.
I think she does know, and we didn't ask her why because Jess hadn't come back yet.
Yeah,
So much.
she sort of. I think 3 earrings said something along the lines of
What we've been through.
the stuff that they'd been through. Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe she does know. But then, I mean,
But we
if
can
she-
we can try and find out if she's willing to tell us that information to trust her, because she keeps saying that we're trusting her,
Yeah,
that she trusts us, but I'm still not sold on it. She kind of looks around.
There's no transparency. She's still hiding something. So I personally think, like, sorry, forgetting names. Grant's character
Davros.
should Zavros. Yeah, sorry. Since he's probably the most charismatic, probably has the most closest relationship with her. I think you should take the letter, ask her about certain situations. Hey, ask her about him, and then if she's still not cooperating or if she's still not telling anything, maybe just reveal the letter. So look, or reveal the journal potentially. But
Okay, it's up to you.
I think maybe that shows that we're snooping though.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can give
And we're not as trustworthy if we're
May as well
snooping.
just say-
Yeah, I think we need to get in a situation where we're back with him again, though, don't we? Really?
We'll deal with that later.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried about.
If when we
Not how he's on the deck, we're not.
When we disembark, we'll just go right and catch up with the men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Or make him really angry and see if a shark head appears.
Rogar, where did you find those olives?
No, he's not eating olives. He's eating ship's biscuits.
You
So
only have one.
These shit biscuits taste like olives.
I don't want any.
I think we've probably come to a natural conclusion here then of short rest, just based on characters chatting, and at the moment you don't want to, you want to wait until you get to Bisafdile before having those additional conversations. I think that it's come to a natural stopping point. So I'm going to end this episode, which is episode 5 Shark Fin here. We'll be back again next week for episode 6. So we'll play the outro, and we'll see you all next week.
We bet.
How do we do short rest?
We out?
Callum's just like